As I walk down the award-winning Main Street in a town made famous by many a cartoon, I spied a young co-ed with chips on her shoulder, cursing a story that she swore was true. The betas and cheeks, she cried with a vengeance. They have their own houses in which to run free, but that Chester Maxey, as mayor of the city, has ruined my fate with one simple decree. When he said any more than 5 unmarried women living here together constitutes a brothel in the town of Walla Walla. So my Kappa Alpha Theta sisters can't have their sorority except inside this dormitory. Don't you think that sucks? Well, isn't that something? I replied in earnest. I've come seeking stories, so thanks for the lead. And what a great folk song this story would make. That is, if historically grounded indeed. But neither Chamber of Commerce, nor city attorney, nor college official had heard of this tale. Yes, Maxey confronted the oldest profession, but none of his laws would land co-eds in jail. But they swear any more than 5 unmarried women living here together constitutes a brothel in the town of Walla Walla. So my Kappa Alpha Theta sisters can't have their sorority except inside his dormitory. Don't you think that sucks? Now on many a campus throughout the whole country, you'll find this same story of Panhellenic vice. But despite all that's happening, it's first on the list of the students who live in the city they name twice. But we know any more than 5 unmarried women living there together may not be illegal, but it's sure no piece of cake. And I'd hate to let facts destroy an entertaining story, so I'll leave the rest to you, set the vote process on its way. Yes, I'll leave the rest to you, set the vote process on its way. And I remember each day that each war ended, remember the lines that we tried to defend, and you can bet your life I'll always remember you. But that's not enough, it don't make it any better just to know how it ends. We gotta get there together with the good times sweeter, cause we rolled around in the rough. I wanna stand on the edge with my hands on the wheel. I want a good backstory and memories I can feel. I want to cut no corners and hold each moment once. But that's not enough. In a hospital wing at the edge of town, they got bright white lights, bright blue gowns, and there's a story of a lifetime lying in every bed. Tension lingers with the change of plans as you cross your fingers and you wash your hands, hoping just for the chance to do it again. But that's not enough, it don't make it any better just to know how it ends. We gotta get there together with the good times sweeter, cause we rolled around in the rough. I want to stand on the edge with my hands on the wheel. I want a good backstory and memories I can feel. I want to cut no corners, hold each moment once. But that's not enough. Well, nothing is ever, but the world keeps turning, and they say it turns better. You're asking why, hearing just because. So grant me the calm in the eye of the storm, grant me the compass to find my way home. Stare me down until I call love, and that's still not enough. Last night I was taken away on a flying ship in the cargo bay. by a man who held his eye in the palm of his hand. He saw beyond the breaking day and knew we'd be okay, and asked me if I cared to understand. I said that's not enough. It don't make it any better just to know how it ends. We gotta get there together with a good time sweeter, cause we rolled around in the rough. I wanna stand on the edge with my hands on the wheel. I want a good backstory and memories I can feel. I wanna cut no corners and hold each moment once, just once, and that's still not enough. No, that's not enough. I was finally moving on something. I couldn't sit still anymore. I'd had a thing for her cousin, and I thought I'd get a foot in the door. There was a dance at school on the weekend. I'd probably have to wear a tie and say all the right things while I leaned on her folks for a ride. She taught me a lot about heartache. She was never who I wanted her to be. I fell down hard, then shuffled the cards, and I like what she did to me. A few months later the story broke. I guess I was ahead of my time. Soon she was turning them down just as fast as they could form a line. Now I'd all but forgotten the cousin. Don't know what made me think that I had the right to crown her perfect. Thank God she didn't bite. She taught me a lot about heartache. She was never who I wanted her to be. I fell down hard and shuffled the cards, and I like what she did to me. It's hard to hum along before you know the tune, but you can fall in love before you know the rules. We're still in touch and stay friendly. I see her every now and again. I've got a whole other set of questions than I did back then. She looks more and more like her mother now. I can't say that's what first drew me in, but it'll string me along, wishing after leaves in the wind. She taught me a lot about heartache, and she was never who I wanted her to be. And I fell down hard, then shuffled the cards, and I like what she did to me. Taught me a lot about heartache, cause she was never who I wanted her to be. I fell down hard and shuffled the cards, and I like what she did to me. I fell down hard, then shuffled the cards.
And Hello, 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 and
Hi,
we're
everybody.
back. Hey,
We're,
and
we're
we're gonna
back after a long vacation.
long vacation.
Yes, three
How
months.
3 months? How long was that? Yeah, that was that. That was a bit of a vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was very vacant.
vacuous.
Vacant.
Okay, okay, just saying.
All right, so we should introduce our guest just in
Yeah.
case some people don't know him. Mm-hmm. This is Wes Waddell, master of many instruments and fine singer, songwriter, producer. There's probably other things he's wonderful at that I don't know about, that Chris knows about.
Yeah,
So,
actually, yeah. Can you? Yeah. Wes has been my friend for a long time, and they've probably heard the story behind it. But gosh, it's been a few years now, at least. So, but
I think we're counting decades now, right?
God, yeah, I know we're just getting old. There's no good way to say that, but it is true. So, but yeah, Wes is one of my favorite people and one of my favorite musicians because I'm just going to lay it on thick and just deal with it. So, but he graciously allowed us to be here. Decided to come on the show today. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. The show today, and we will head on with it. Sally is with us, of course, and Sally is. We made it so that none of the whiskey is here, unfortunately.
Yeah, she has it all.
Yeah. So big sigh, but I got some wine and some other things. So yeah. So welcome, Wes.
Thank you. Glad
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
All right.
We should probably do some songs.
do some songs. So
Yeah, back about almost a month ago, or around a month ago, we had a really interesting gig. We played for the Falls City Historical Society. The following month, I guess this month, they were going to have a author talk by a gentleman who's written a book about steamboats on the Snoqualmie River, which I didn't even know existed, but makes sense. And of
Yeah.
course, they probably made it just about as far as Falls City because things got kind of rough further upriver.
yeah, I
It's
know.
really hard to get a steamboat up Snoqualmie Falls. So,
yeah. Or it wouldn't be good if it went down it either. So.
yeah. And okay. Well, anyway, so we learned a bunch of river songs, riverboat songs, and things like that. And here's a couple of them.
Yeah. It's called Dance Boatman Dance. So
Well,
yeah.
that's one of them.
Yeah.
The other one has another name. Oh,
How about we play in the same key?
yeah. Okay. Why not?
The boatmen dance, the boatmen sing, boatmen do most anything. When the boatman get on shore, spends his cash and works for more. Dance, boatman, dance, dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night till the broad daylight, till home and the gals in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, singing on the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, singing on the river on the Ohio. The boatman is a thrifty man, none can do as the boatman can. Never saw a pretty girl in my life, she was the boatman's wife. Dance, boatman, dance, dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night till the broad daylight, go home with the gals in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing on the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing on the river on the Ohio. I went on board the other day to see what the boatman had to say. There I let my passion loose, they crammed me in the calaboose. Dance, boatman, dance, dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night till the broad daylight, go home with the gals in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing on the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing on the river on the Ohio. When you go to the boatman's ball, dance with your wife or not at all. Tight blue jacket, tarpaulin hat, look out boys for the nine-tailed cat. Dance, boatman, dance, dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night till the broad daylight, go home with the gals in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman rows, sailing down the river on the Ohio. his horn. Look out, old man, your daughter's gone. Stole my sheep, he stole me goat. Put him in a bag and took him to the boat. Dance, boatman, dance. Dance, boatman, dance. Dance all night till the broad daylight. Go home with the gals in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Hi-ho, the boatman row, sailing down the river on the Ohio. Something like that. All right.
Oh, wow. Felt pick.
Yes. Dull pick.
All right.
All right.
Well, next song I got from the singing of our friend Jean Geiger.
Yes.
And she leads it in with our maritime music group, Strikes a Bell.
Yep.
And so I borrowed it from her. And she borrowed it from somebody else.
Julia
Anyway,
Bell. Oh, I got to get another instrument. So hang on.
he's going to go. Oh, he's changing instruments. That's a good idea, probably. All right, it's called Julia Bell. It's a women's steamboat song, but it also has a word that is foreign to our ears, because what we call a calliope, in the Midwest apparently they call a calliope.
Calliope.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
I didn't know it. Well, actually I did know, because it's in another song that we do
Yeah.
that we're not doing today. Anyway, oh, whoops. Okay, move that over. And this is called Julia Bell.
Julia
It's
Bell.
by Chris Stewart. Julia Swain is my name, but they call me Julia Bell. I'm a Mississippi steamboat, and I know this river well. My decks are dry, my bucket's clean, with feathers on my stacks. I'm steaming to Galena, but you know I'm coming back. You know I'm coming back, you know I'm coming back. Farewell, I'm Julia Bell, and you know I'm coming back. I was born on a riverbank on the old Iowa shore, but I'll carry anyone who'll pay to come on board. I've been north and I've been south, I've been all around this world, but someday I'll drift away, no more a working girl. No more a working girl, no more a working girl. Say well, I'm Julia Bell, no more a working girl. Now I've got a women's crew, the first you ever seen. Girls in the pilot house, girls on deck, and a lady in the engine room. Now Donna's got her license, Cindy's learned to steer. Julia keeps Moon out of trouble by wandering everywhere. Wandering everywhere, wandering everywhere. Farewell, I'm Julia Bell, I'm wandering everywhere. Donnie, get your banjo out, get your fiddle too, and let's hope my calliope can play along in tune. The river's high, the night is clear, the moon is hanging low. Here's the toast to all the crew, and here's to Captain Trone. Here's to Captain Trone, here's to Captain Trone. Farewell, I'm Julia Bell, and here's to Captain Trone. Here's to Captain Trone, here's to Captain Trone. Farewell, I'm Julia Bell, and here's to Captain Trone. Yeehaw!
You were whacking my microphone there.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's the close quarters.
Yes, close
and
quarters
the long
indeed.
neck. But there it is.
All
All
right.
right. What are we
Okay,
doing now?
what are we doing?
Well, actually, we're not doing anything, because we're just going to stop.
And we're going to stop and have...
Wes start.
Yes, there you go.
So, Wes, take it away, my friend.
Okay. All right. With an introduction like that. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I understand it has been well more than a fortnight. And I knew that I couldn't compete with y'all on the nautical thing. With this, though I see you're moving into freshwater now too, even. But yeah. So I thought I'd start with a song inspired by a baked good. Just it's not nautical at all. You can buy 'em by the dozen, wrapped up one by one. The odometer's running, but you're under the gun. Maybe there's a secret, maybe there's a key to something cheap and fast and tasty, not just 2 out of 3. Well, they don't make 'em like they used to. This whole place has been reduced to just another rodeo of grab and go. And even when they made 'em better, you could make 'em best yourself. Oh, but now, who has time for those? It's not really what happened. It's not really what was. It's just what we remember, what we carry on with us. Everybody does it. Nobody's immune. Tells a better story, gives you a better tune. 'Cause they don't make 'em like they used to. This whole place has been reduced to just another rodeo of grab and go. And even when they made it better, you could make 'em best yourself. Oh, but now, who has time for those? Snowing up the paper, and in their seat, pour a glass of something, maybe iced tea. Open up the paper, settle in your seat, give yourself a moment, take in what you need. 'Cause they don't make 'em like they used to. This whole place has been reduced to just another rodeo of grab and go. And even when they made 'em better, you could make 'em best yourself. Oh, but now, who has time for those? Oh, but now, who has time for those?
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine down in LA runs a project called Now See Here, with here spelled Hear, and the premise is music inspired by visual art and visual art inspired by music. So he started it by taking 30 songs of people he knew and liked and gave them to visual artists to create different things, and then those pieces of art were given to songwriters, and it's an extraordinary thing with lots of cool seeds now. And the piece of art that I was given was a homemade moon pie inspired by a song, and I wrote a song inspired by a moon pie, and now there's more, there's more tendrils from that. So anyway, this is not about a moon pie. When the tide is out, you can see last week's footprints in the clay. When the tide is out, well, it feels like you can walk across the bay. The birds don't seem so hurried when the tide is out. When the tide is out, you can dig for your dinner in the mud. When the tide is out, that buoy don't look so tough. Your life don't seem so distant when the tide is out. When the tide is out. When the tide is out, well, I wonder what lies waiting in the flat. When the tide is out, years of industry come floating back. Your life don't seem so distant when the tide is out. Yeah, the past don't seem so distant when the tide is out. When the tide is out.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fine picking.
Fine.
I had to get a little bit salty to try to keep pace with the Whateverly Brothers.
Yeah, I know. Well, yes. Or I don't know about. It's a matter of salty or completely disrespectful, because
Oh, I was just thinking nautical. I couldn't.
No, we
Yeah.
as you said, we've been moving inland. We're sort of up the creek.
yeah, no paddle. If I had a paddle, yeah.
Without a canoe.
That's what the ukulele's for, fellas.
All right. So do you have a toast, by the way?
Oh, I can come up with one. I have a drink.
Well, if you don't,
You don't have to do it right now.
not have to do it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dan's got one, as
All
usual.
right. Well, here's to being back at the Fortnight of Doom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Here we are.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
everybody
Everybody's
drink up,
back.
whatever
Yeah.
it is you're drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, now.
Go.
Oh, do you have your high-tech sign for the Folky Inquisition?
Oh my God, where is it? Hang on.
Okay.
Just talk about something. I
Maybe
know where it is.
Wes could do a drum roll
I know,
or
I
something
got it.
for
I
us.
have it right here.
Oh,
Oh wow!
I could.
Ooh, he's so
Okay,
organized.
yeah.
Ready, one, two. Oh, there we go.
The other thing is yeah, no, it's backwards for some odd reason, but yes.
Okay.
Is that correct? Are you seeing it correctly?
yeah, I see it fine.
Okay, good. Just
Hopefully the
making
good
sure.
viewers do
Oh,
as well.
I see it. Yeah, this is my fancy graphic. There we go.
Okay. All right. So the Folky Inquisition. I've put minutes into this. And I hope at least we can get an answer on this one.
Yeah.
If anybody's been watching TV in the last 6 months, or the internet, probably. All right. Some months ago, a folk singer and a politician met at an airport. This is not a priest and a rabbi. And
Oh, okay.
go
Just
into
making
a-
sure, because it sure sounded like
I
it.
know. I made it sound like that. Okay. Some months ago, a folk singer and a politician met at an airport and sang, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I'm gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching to the freedom land."
Okay.
Who are they?
Okay. We'll see what that
So
is.
the politician.
Oh, did I see an answer already?
Could be.
Carly
Carly got it?
got it. Well, she's got half of it.
Oh, she's got half of it.
She got half of it. Yeah, she's got that one there.
Okay, well, that's easy.
That's the easy part. Yeah.
That's
So
easy.
Carly, you've got one half of it at this
Okay.
point.
All right. Well, you can go
Keep
on.
going.
You can go on and go
let's
on the
see if
internet and find the other person.
Is anybody on the YouTube side of things? Nope, not yet. I mean,
No,
there's people
okay,
there, but
well,
they're not talking.
The suspense is almost unbearable.
So. All right.
So it's while we're being in suspense, we'll
do a tune.
we'll kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, this is the
High body count part
this is
of
the
the
high.
set.
Yeah, exactly. So being a folk song, we have to do high body counts. It's just the way it is. So
It's called the I Must Disaster. Actually, both of these songs are on a compact disc about herring
herring
fisheries.
Right here. I've got it right
Oh
here.
my goodness!
Oh my God! How about this? This is
How about being organized.
Herring Our Joy, put together by Mary Garvey, and one of her many collections of things. She's getting up there with Hank in some ways, in terms of how many
And how
collections
many
she's put
CDs,
out.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's those Catholics. 'Cause I at a shanty scene years ago, I teased. Hank's.
Carly's got it.
Okay. The answer
The answer
is Justin Jones of the Tennessee Three and Joan Baez.
There we go.
And
Carly's got it.
It made my day when I saw that on the news.
There we go, yeah.
Really, it was just such a heartwarming thing. And keep that whole thing in mind, because the next question will also have something to do with the Tennessee Three.
All right, well done, Carly. So, yeah, we'll send you some of our crappy merchandise.
Yeah.
We'll see what she doesn't have.
Right.
Oh,
There is
you
that.
know, she may or may not have some Watch the Sky stuff.
There is that.
That's true. We'll have to
that's
do
pretty,
that.
pretty
yeah.
obscure.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
'Twas in a Black Friday on October, I think I still can hear them call. Dozens of ships rolled over and over. Out go we one, out go we all. The morning first was fair and warm, I think I still can hear them call. The older men could sense a storm. Out go we one, out go we all. By our fathers long before, I think I still can hear them call. On solemn oath they each one swore, out go we one, out go we all. If we don't fish, then we don't eat, I think I still can hear them call. Thus we lost our fishing fleet, out go we one, out go we all. The weather's hard here in the fall, I think I still can hear them call. We met a cyclone, not a squall, out go we one, out go we all. The foremost fishers cut their lines, I think I still can hear them call. We lost 129, out go we one, out go we all. Full 7 years to learn the trade, I think I still can hear them call. Glad is how a fisher's made, out go we one, out go we all. There'll be no fishing here again, I think I still can hear them call. We lost our boats, we lost our men, out go we one, out go we all.
How many people died on that one? Do we know?
129, and they got really exact on that one. Yours is just like hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, no, yeah. So
He has a higher body count than I do.
way higher body count.
Yeah. Mom always liked you best.
Oh, I gotta find my cape. I'll put it somewhere. There we go. Oh, sorry. Whack you with my guitar.
Okay, I remember the banjo's coming back next set.
That's right. So that's right. So this has to do with a town in the northwest portion of England called Grimsby. Lots of fishing happened in Grimsby, and unfortunately there was this big, massive storm. And I did a little research on it. There's barely anything on the internet about this particular storm, except that a lot of people got killed.
But, well, go ahead. I'll say
And
that. Tell you later.
It's called 70. So. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Their herring craft, their trawlers, their fishing smacks as well. They long to fight that bitter night and battle with the Cell. Methinks I see a host of craft spreading their sails alay, as down the Humber they do glide, bound for the cold North Sea. Methinks I see a wee small craft and crew with hearts so brave, going out to earn their daily bread upon the restless waves. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. their herring craft, their trawlers, their fishing smacks as well. They long to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. October's night brought such a sight was never seen before. There were masts and yarns and broken spars washed up upon the shore. There was many a heart of sorrow, there was many a heart so brave. There was many a true and noble lad to find a watery grave. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Their herring craft, their trawlers, their fishing smacks as well. They long to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. Methinks I see them yet again as they leave the land behind, casting their nets into the sea, the fishing shoals to find. Methinks I see them yet again, and all on board's all right, with the sails close reefed and the decks cleared up and the side lights burning bright. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Their herring craft, their trawlers, their fishing smacks as well. They long to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Their herring craft, their trawlers, their fishing smacks as well. They long to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. Right.
An interesting side point is Grimsby no longer is a fishing port. It is a wind energy port. There's a giant wind energy farm off of Grimsby, because apparently they got a lot of wind out there.
Yeah.
And they're generating megawatts of power.
That was
and the town is doing quite well economically because of that.
Yeah.
They don't have to go out and fish and.
So there's probably not much fish anyway, but yeah.
They ran out of fish anyway because they got so good at catching them.
That and Brexit, you know.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that helped.
But actually, a little minor factoid, sometime last year, Britain was actually completely off of non-renewable fuels, as in only on solar and nuclear and a couple of other things, for a full week.
Good for them.
It was literally generating everything. It's one of the few countries that's actually able to pull it off at this point. They're increasing it a lot more.
Given their history with coal, that's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, what's not only that. Here's another factoid. They're using the old coal mines now to generate electricity. What they're doing is that the old coal mines heat up the water down there. So they flood the coal mines, and then they pull up the hot water and use it to generate electricity and to heat homes.
Far out.
Yeah, I just read about that. So they're actually retasking all the old coal mines, because back down, 100,000 feet down, it gets a little warm down there. And so it literally, the earth just heats it up, and then they pipe it up, and there you go. Pretty cool.
You guys are pretty smart. I guess that's why you ran the world for 100 years.
Yeah, well, either smart or just, well, anyway.
Lucky.
We'll not get
Okay, so we don't have to look for an answer here.
No, we don't.
We got it.
We got it, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe what we could do is send her... Send her this one.
Microphone?
Whack my microphone. We'll send her Herring Our Joy. Let's do that.
Not?
We got it. So yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. Cool.
Okay, Wes, it's your turn.
Oh, all right. I was looking at the little outline, the run of show here, the private back channel communication, and I was thinking, well, we're way ahead of schedule. I know that my songs tend to be short. And then
You could just do more
I figured if you guys were doing, sort of disaster at sea ballads, like that would because you know how those end, but they take 30 verses to get there, and but you guys kind of got in and got out. So tis the season. I'm gonna do the ghostiest song I have, but it's a it's a Christmas song, so it's a little weird. So I'm getting my seasons confused here, but I do a lot of work with this organization called the Bushwick Book Club Seattle that puts on a show every month for original music inspired by a different book. It's different people every time. Over 500 regional performers have been part of it since we started in 2010, and it's just been real fun. And about 2014, we put together a program of original music inspired by Dickens' A Christmas Carol for a regional library system. And I wrote a song inspired by the scene where Marley shows up and he takes Scrooge over the window and looks out, and there's phantoms and ghosts everywhere. London is just crawling with them. And I figured we know Marley's story, but there's a lot of other stories out there. So this is my ghost song for Halloween about Christmas. You're welcome.
Cool.
When you look out of your window on a long winter's night, see the frost hang all around you underneath the pale moonlight. Watch the smoke rise from the chimneys, feel the shudder in the air. And if you listen to the wind blow, you might just hear us there, crying out to anyone who listens, crying out for all the wages of our sins we carry with us. Johnny used to be a sailor till his ship left him in port. Sally used to be a lawyer till she settled out of court. Thomas always ran the numbers till one day they added up. Me, I used to be a lover, but I never loved enough, and now I'm crying out to anyone who'll listen, crying out for all the wages of my sins I carry with us. So when you look out of your window and the hour is getting late, think of all who've come before you to wrestle with their fates. Think of that which makes you happy. Think of that which you collect. You think you can't take it with you? I might just take that bet, and you'll be crying out to anyone who listens, crying out in chain submission, crying out. So save yourself now, mister, crying out for all the wages of our sins we carry with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna invite you to, patch your audio in and just give me give you a little bit of that in the turnarounds.
Well, there we go. Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's human. It wouldn't work that well. So anyway, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was relearning. I haven't. That song kind of disappeared from the head for a while, so I was relearning it. And I was in the little pre-show roll, it was a nice little playlist covering eras of my recordings, and you started with a rather early one.
Yep.
And I was
Look at
firing
yourself.
up the live streams on the phone to check him out, and Facebook had the auto captions on, and that was that was
Me too. That was hilarious.
that was fantastic. It was probably a better tune than I wrote. But for all of those sort of years, I was this sort of precocious, prolific, a generation younger than everybody on the scene. Not that that's not true now, but it's just 20 plus years later.
Mm-hmm.
And now I understand when my peers were talking about like, oh yeah, I used to know that song. And I don't remember it. So as long as I relearned my Ghosty song, here's another one I did for another library program, for a great local book called Closer to the Ground by a Bainbridge author named Dylan Tomine, published by Patagonia, because they do that too. Yeah. About just doing the best you can to eat local and have fun while doing it. So here's this tune. 3 square meals times 365 days in a calendar year get you 1,095 plates of glory. With a range of cuisines across the change of seasons keeps you on your toes. So if you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home. It starts in the spring when the daylight lingers just a couple minutes more each day. There's oyster steamer spot prawns with the springers on their way, and a garden full of promise once we get it in the ground. And we hope to keep it healthy with the rain still coming down. 3 square meals times 365 days in a calendar year gets you 1,095 plates of glory. With a range of cuisines across the change of seasons keeps you on your toes. So if you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home. Summer comes a-calling and we wish that it would stay. But now there's gooey ducks poking through the muck and the Dungeness in the bay. Berries in the wild with their plantings on the side, it's all right here so fast. We'll can and freeze what we don't eat to make the sunshine last. 3 square meals times 365 days in a calendar year gets you 1,095 plates of glory. With a range of cuisines across the change of seasons keeps you on your toes. So if you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home. Autumn falls and the light gets longer, soon it's gone for good. But the kings get wind tivers and their chanterelles in the woods. Freezer will be bursting if we tag ourselves a buck. So take the fiery sky on a blackberry pie and a little bit of luck. Or 3 square meals times 365 days in a calendar year get you 1,095 plates of glory. With the range of cuisines across the change of seasons keeps you on your toes. So if you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home. On comes winter, ready or not, well I hope we're in good shape. Now a razor clam or a blackmouth salmon might find its way to your plate. And if we've time to harvest, then the eating will still be good. And the long nights will be cozy if we don't run out of wood. Or 3 square meals times 365 days in a calendar year gets you 1,095 plates of glory. With a range of cuisines across the change of seasons keeps you on your toes. So if you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home. If you're willing and you're able, come and join us at the table, cause there ain't no taste like home.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. That is an average amount of words for one of my songs.
I know. We know this.
Yeah. I'm still trying to catch up.
Oh yeah, sorry. It was summer. Did you get as far as summer? Where are you, Dan?
I think I just got to
Did we get into autumn or not? 'Cause, okay.
That's right.
I'm a couple months behind right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool is the stuff stuff that you're doing is wonderful. Is some of your obscure stuff, which is great because I don't know. I mean, of the shows I've heard, you don't often do this stuff, which is
Side by side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have to do that. Done. There we go.
Yeah, there's an adage in in like the prose writing, the writer world, that like the more specific you are in your writing, the more universal it becomes. And I kind of feel like that's a sometimes snack with songs. Like sometimes it really works. You can get a really specific image or something and people are like, oh, I'll go there. And other times it's sort of like, what is that guy talking about? But I've written over 60 songs inspired by books now, and I'm mostly involved in a sort of production administration role now because it's just time for other voices to be doing that. But I think that those 60 plus songs fit pretty neatly into three categories. One category is songs that kind of exist on their own, and I could give them without the book context, and it would still seem like, it wouldn't be weird. Another third of those do not work outside of the context. They're very specific to something, and that's fine because that was the point of that show, and it made the show fun. And then the third is I don't know.
Do explain a little bit more about Bushwick Book Club, because I mean we've folks may or may not have heard of it, but
Sure.
but I think it's an extremely cool thing that's been going on for a long time. It has become kind of like some of the songwriting contests out there. It's become extremely well respected. So
Yeah, thank you. It's the premise is very simple. Original music inspired by the written word. And a group of 10 or so songwriters will all be booked in advance to play a show a certain month, and then they have to read that month's book and write a song. Love it, hate it, indifferent to it. It's not it's not a score for, it is whatever inspires you. If you want to go big themes, that's fine. If something on page 4 reminded you of your grandma and you want to write a song about grandma, then go for it. It's all welcome, and a lot of times over the course of the evening, songs end up with conversation with one another, which is really, really cool. And it's as much as I'm a songwriting and wordsmithing evangelist, I picked the wrong town for that. And
Well, speaking of wordsmithing, can we get a toast out of you?
yes,
oh, sure. Yeah, here's this is my my soda and bitters doctored particularly to look exactly the right color. This is good to kind of match
I thought it was
my
whiskey.
pumpkin shirt here. Yeah. There's a lot in the world right now, and I kind of want to do a general toast just to people finding their way to good health. But I'll also how about to good health and creativity?
Yeah,
How
perfect.
about that?
Yeah,
Good
health and
health and
creativity.
L'chaim.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
I think that Bushwick shows have been the most engaged I've ever seen Seattle area audiences with the process of songwriting, and I think that's why I have the energy I have for it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I've always respected about you is the fact that you are an honest, prolific songwriter. As long as I've known you, and you see Wes in concert. Frankly, it's and I happen to Wes was headlining the Tumbleweed, one of the headliners at the Tumbleweed Music Festival this year back in Richland, and to my mind, it was just a master class of how something should be done.
Thank you.
It was great, and I really, it's thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, we've known each other for a long time, so starting with the Yakima Folk Festival. That's where it all
Folk
began.
Festival.
Yeah.
A lot of things began there.
Yeah, they did.
2002.
Stroke there.
So, yeah, when I met Chris at the pub where we were having dinner, and it was one of the venues. And,
Grant's Pub.
Burt Grant's Pub, and enjoyed the conversation so much that I walked out without paying my bill. It slipped my mind, and I didn't just walk out without paying my bill. Like, I walk out and started driving back to Seattle, and it was
You get this phone call
yeah.
on the 520 bridge at that point. I think it was either the
using the
bridges.
barest. There's no smartphones. Using the barest 555-1212. I can do it. Like, can I call the pub? Can I go? Oh my gosh! I can't really turn around now and
That was so
settle
funny.
up.
Yeah,
So,
I got to keep you. I got to hold that over for your maybe a year or so.
oh yeah, I owe you one dinner and a couple of pints and $2,002, which is
Oh, yeah.
quite an investment.
With the interest. Boy, you're up.
Let's see. Well, first of all, let's see who's go. Hey, shout out to Lydia, of course, and to Kathy Bertel, who's here. Carly's here. Susan Frederick is here.
Susan, hi.
Hey, and let's see who else is hanging out. That's Katrina's here. Hey, Katrina, who did an absolutely fabulous job of running the Tumbleweed Music Festival
Yes.
this year. Our good friend Susan is hanging out and as well. And yeah, so the usual crew is showing up, which is a happy thing. So yeah, and yeah.
Susan from Vancouver?
No, Susan Bennett, friend of mine,
Oh,
local
okay.
friend of mine.
Different
Yeah,
Susan. Okay.
yeah. No, we know a few Susans at
Yeah,
this point.
it's
Yeah,
kind of a well-known name. Yeah.
yeah. So
What else is on the? Oh, it's time for the second.
second. Oh, where is it? Hang on. There we go.
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, the whole thing of the Tennessee Three just really tickled me. Just had to, kind of just grabbed my whole political and satirical and everything sense, and so I was inspired to write a song
Aha, yes,
about
he was.
it. And Sally came up with the perfect song to use as a parody. It's a fairly well-known Jimmy Driftwood song. He's the guy who wrote Battle of New Orleans, and it has Tennessee in the title. So I wrote the Tennessee Three, and if you answer this question now, what tune did I use for the Tennessee Three? Not only will you get something from our stash of crappy merchandise, but I will also, by email, send you a copy of the song, the Tennessee Three, that I wrote.
There we go. Yeah.
And you will be one of the first people to ever see it. And although one of the first people to see it, most of it was Roy Zimmerman, who actually liked it.
Oh yeah. So that's kind of big right there.
That's really.
That's a good endorsement.
I've never thought of myself as a songwriter until I got that feedback. So that is the question. What tune did I use to write a song about the Tennessee Three?
Okay.
That has Tennessee in the title.
Right.
This one should be even easier than the first one.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And Carly, don't answer.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bushwick Book Club, it's that time when we do a video, and usually we have something of ours that I'm pulled out of our pretty substantial archives. I couldn't find anything at this point, so I did. At that point I'd troll the YouTube sites of whoever guest is. I found this extremely cool video that was recorded actually for the Bushwick Book Club at Town Hall, and it's the only time I have ever seen Wes wear a suit. So, it was recorded. It's the front, but it was recorded in March 13th. Anyway, I've got it written up. Anyway, it's an extremely cool one because he has a full choir and a full jazz band behind him, and it's a great video. So, if y'all can mute out, and then I will do my usual share a screen because we are completely low tech in what we do. So yeah, so we're gonna if you can do the same there, Wes, and
his server's powered by a treadmill.
That's right. You can't see it, but it's just right underneath. Yeah. So yeah,
right there.
Here we go.
But I'd like to do my best to create that for you and us as well, and ask you please, stand as you are able. Put your hands up in the air. Act like you've done this before. And help me close this show. For 6 days and 6 nights I've worked myself dry, bolted the mountains and rolled out the sky. Got kinda lonesome here after a while, and it's time to open the gate. Won't you come on in to my garden? We got every lovely thing for you to see. Come on in, let's get started. Well, now we are on to something, you and me. Let us show you all the love that I planted. Let me show you all the seeds that I sowed. Nothing wish you have when I can grant it. Here's a little place to call your own. Won't you come on in to my garden? We got every lovely thing from A to Z. Come on in, and let's get started. Well, now we are on to something, you and me. Yeah. Samantha Bosnack on the trumpet. Cynthia Mullis on the alto. David Marriott Jr. Brian Bermudez, come on in to my garden. We got every lovely thing for you to see. Come on in, and let's get started. But now we are on to something, you and me. Let us take a little walk down by the river. Let me take your hand in mine and show the way. And you in my footsteps I'll deliver. I'll be with you each and every day. Come on in to my garden. We got every lovely thing from A to Z. Come on in, and let's get started. But now we are on to something. I said we are on to something, you and me. Seattle Jazz Composers Ensemble. Members of Captain Smarty Pants and Sensible Shoes, thank you very much.
Talk about a tough act to follow. Jeez.
Yeah, I looked at that and went, oh yeah, I got to do something with that. So there we go. Nicely done. How did you get those guys to do that?
Oh, so that show, the entire show had that band and that choir. You know, it was a bigger undertaking. So you know, and some fundraising was certainly involved too. But
Yeah.
it was a smaller number of performers. And then each one was paired with an arranger from Seattle Jazz Composers Ensemble. Some used the choir, some didn't. And yeah, it was a really special night. It was the first time we'd ever done a show for 2 nights. Because normally, you know, everybody does their brand new songs. It's like, oh, that's how I should perform it, and then they never do it again. But I think every single person that night, their songs got tighter on night 2, but their intros got worse. So it's like, oh, there's something about the immediacy of it being new that makes you give a good intro. But yeah, I had been telling right before the video sort of shows up there. I was explaining about my father and his attempts to start a gospel sing-along in a Unitarian church in the rural Northwest, and he had this this Reverend Jim Bob persona that he did. And the first time he tried it was at a fundraiser, because it's hard to get Unitarians to give money because you can't threaten them with anything. And he was playing the role, and he said, "Can I get an amen?" And they weren't sure, like they had to think about it. And so
I had to discuss it, probably being
Yeah.
Unitarians. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I can see your dad doing that. That's I really-
yeah, it
You like
became a
it.
thing that he did for 20 years, and they gave him a title before he died. They gave him the title of Minister Emeritus just because of this thing that became a very special annual sort of community celebration. And Minister Emeritus is a real thing. Apparently, you can vote, and he would have had a vote at the General Assembly if he'd went. And so, in my late 30s, I suddenly had to deal with a new identity of being a preacher's kid.
Well, the Unitarians are kind of off on the side in terms of religiosity, because I mean the Jews pray to Yahweh, and the Muslims to Allah, and the Unitarians to whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern, yes, yes. Leading a Town Hall Seattle audience through that was sort of the perfect tribute to it, and it was great that everybody went into it and was bopping around so much. But one of the audience members came up to me after the show and said that he had been bopping around so much that the camera person from the Seattle channel had to come and actually tell him to chill it out. He was ruining the shot.
Oh, great. Anyway, just great stuff. So, yeah. All right. We're going to do something, right?
Yeah, Astoria's Bar.
That's right. We'll do
It's
that.
a song by Mary Garvey.
Mary Garvey, of
talking
course.
about her a lot today.
Mm-hmm.
Should
Yeah. Oops, hang on. There we go. Replace
This
pin.
is
There we go. And I got to get
this
it right.
is probably
Hang on.
her most famous song.
Yep, it is. Give
Covered
me-
by good old what's his name? What's the CD?
I'm working on it. Sorry, hang on. Remove pin. There we go. I got to get myself. See, this is so low tech.
I'll never forget what's
There we
his
go.
name.
Okay. Yeah.
Where's the CD? Because the guy right before me.
All right. There we go. Three score. No. Harry.
I'm a.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. This song was covered by Gordon Bach.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
and
you
he's
need-
also on that CD right before me.
Right. We need a D.
He opens for me, boy.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's not very far to Astoria's Bar, but a very long journey it can be. It can start at the mouth of the mighty Blue River and end at the bottom of the sea. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. When the tide is rough, so very, very rough, so rough that you cannot stand, it drives the little fish right into the nets and the boats right into the sand. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. In the mist and the rain, the labor and the pain, we know what the fishing here is worth. It is worth more than gold as we suck 'em from the hold. It's worth all the treasures of the earth. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. It's not very far to Astoria's Bar, but a very long journey it can be. It can start at the mouth of the mighty Blue River and end at the bottom of the sea. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. When we rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay.
There we go.
Uh-huh.
So that's actually on another CD. That would be Tales from the Bar.
Right. Oh, yes.
Another band did it. Wonderful local band, actually, from the north side of the Columbia,
The Ilwaco side.
Ilwaco
yeah.
side of the Columbia. But yes, and that whole area is one of my favorite places. It's absolutely marvelous down there. It really is. And Mary
back.
Garvey, more than anyone, has captured the essence of that of Southwest Washington more than anyone else. So yeah. Oh, what are we doing next?
It looks like Katrina got the answer to the second.
Ooh, okay. Hang on.
Sally just went into our.
Yeah, there we go.
We
Yes.
keep a back channel text stream.
There we go.
going,
Yes, indeed.
Just in case we're doing like silent shows or something like that.
Yeah, so we've got it. Yeah.
You got it. She got the answer.
She got the answer,
And the answer
indeed.
is the Tennessee Stud.
There we go.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And so, Katrina, seeing as I have your email address, I will send you my lyrics to the Tennessee 3.
Right, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, so,
and you can do with that whatever you want. You can dump in the trash, or
Yeah.
if you sell them, just cut me in, okay?
Yeah, hang on one second, because I think keep talking for a moment if you wouldn't mind.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, we've got another song
Oh,
actually.
we should actually mention one thing. We have been putting Venmo and PayPal information into the chat. And because we really want to be able to raise money for musicians as much as we possibly can, and you all know that, so please feel free to donate. It's not about gas money because we ain't going anywhere, but please do donate as much as you can.
This all goes to Wes.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons we started the Fortnight of Doom back on June 6th, 2020.
Aha!
Is we realized that all these musicians weren't doing gigs and weren't making money,
yeah.
so we thought this was a way that we could help our fellow musicians.
Yeah.
Some of whom that's all they do for their money.
Yeah, and they had literally no work. And, at that point. And, we hadn't figured out the video thing and all of that stuff. So it was kind of at the beginning of all of that. And nobody knew anything of that. And I mean, we still don't know anything. But,
but fortunately, at that point, we had Rob, who was some backup, too.
Right.
And between Rob and Chris, we had enough brain power to get this together.
Yeah.
And I just sort of watched until it was time to sing.
He watched and he laughed mostly.
Yeah, that too. All right. So our next song is another one of the ones that we learned for the... and it's actually another song that's from that same album.
It is, yes.
Tales from the Bar, which you can get from Maritime Folknet if you go on to and search maritimefolknet.org.
Yes.
You too can own a copy of this really cool CD.
Yeah.
It's got a whole bunch of different folks mostly from that area playing. The Everly Brothers are on it, right?
We are indeed, yes.
I can't even remember what song we did.
I can't remember, but we're on there. Watch the Sky, my previous band, is on there as well.
Doing this song.
Doing this song, actually, with Jan singing it and Dan backing up and so forth. And this is by our good friend Alice Winship, who has passed. And one of the things, she was late in life a remarkable songwriter, and she wrote really about what she knew. And this is one of those songs.
What key are you playing in?
I'm playing a capo 1, so it's C sharp, right?
C sharp.
Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't put that. That's the one thing I didn't make notes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
She grew up in Eastern Washington from a farming family, not far south of Centralia.
No,
not Centralia. Moses
Lake.
Thank you very much.
Wrong side of the state.
Moses Lake, and a lot of. She wrote about shanties and the Pacific and the Columbia, and this is one of those songs. It's called "The Pacific Waits." Something like
But
this.
she also wrote about the Eastern Washington farming folks.
She did.
In the second verse, the first verse.
Yeah.
It talks about a truck driver knotting a kerchief around her head. That's her mother.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific waits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay. The fields shine red and gold in the sun, stretching far as the hawk's eyes can see. The grain will fall as the combines run, for it's far beyond the sea. So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific waits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay. The truck knots a kerchief around her head. The wheat dust swirls in the wheat. The grain flows out as they hoist the truck's bed. The farmers know the world's got to eat. So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific waits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay. The barges load with the Columbia flow. The
tugs haul them down towards the sea. There'll be pita bread where the corn run is bred. The Koreans want some noodles with their tea.
So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific awaits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay.
Massive spouts, she has a lot of words. Massive spouts fill big ships that have come from afar. The grain solas rise in the fog. The waves roll high on the Columbia's bar. Bar pilots come aboard, says the law. So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific awaits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay. So cast off your moorings and away. Bring on the pilot for the day. The Pacific awaits just beyond the bar. We have wheat bound for Osaka Bay.
Oops, I said cast off your noodles at one point. Oops.
I was gonna.
Yeah, it's silos turned into solos.
I know, yeah.
Cast off your noodles is front runner for my favorite moment. So the stream
Oops.
so
Oh
far.
well. You know, it's live. So, speaking of songs, how about you do a couple more?
So it was very good. Yeah, I don't have any noodles to cast off, but we're gonna do. Yeah.
I'm not going to that down shortly.
I don't know all the Tennessee Stud, but I was thinking. Session in Tennessee Stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes are green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and never was a horse like the Tennessees. Anyway, another song I used to know. It's nice that you mentioned Willapa Bay in the song and that sort of corner of the state. It's a place I've had a lot of connections with, and I had the very good fortune to spend the entire month of August 2014 as an artist in residence in the town of Oysterville, around the very tip of the Long Beach Peninsula on the Bayside. It's where I wrote the When the Tide Is Out song that I sang earlier, and where I wrote the No Taste Like Home song. So both of those I wrote on the Long Beach Peninsula, home of Mary Garvey. So kind of a fun connection. Here's from a duo record I put out with my friend Elisa Newhall in October of 2020. Which, brilliant business decision. We had recorded it in August of 2019 and just kind of been sitting on it. And then it's like, well, we don't want it to be more, like 2 calendar years from when we recorded it. And if we wait any longer, we'll just get buried in holiday airplay. And so we put it out in October 2020. Daybreak in the valley, the flowers start stirring, the trees stretch their limbs and the dew fades away. The water runs through it, the people get to it, season by season and page after page. Some come and some go, some hope and some know, some count the years past and some look ahead. Well, I came to this valley with little of value,
not much to show me what I need to find. Many here taught me, others here fought me. Some turn up new ways of changing my mind. Some come and some go, some hope and some know. Some count the years past and some look ahead. The rain offers promise, the wind keeps us honest. The sun likes to run up the score, sans regrets. The kinship takes tending, the work's never ending, and I wouldn't dare ask for anything less. Some come and some go, some hope and some know. Some count the years past and some look ahead. Days end in the valley, the flowers start stirring, the breeze falls away and the evening is still. Think of the time when I wanted it easy. Thankful am I that has gone unfulfilled. Some come and some go, some hope and some know. Some count the years past and some look ahead. And the more that I weather, the deeper it's heather. Some count the years past and some look ahead.
Very nice.
Thank you. I was trying to figure out a way to get some noodles in there, but I didn't make it. All right, this is probably as salty as I get. I'm doing it for you. This is one of the very early Bushwick Book Club Seattle songs I wrote, inspired by Shel Silverstein's "Where the Sidewalk Ends." I picked, we did poem-specific things for that one, and I picked not one of the well-known ones, not one of the funny ones, not one of the short ones. I picked a poem called "The Bagpipe Who Didn't Say No," which is a long and sad sort of poem story about a turtle that encounters a bagpipe on a beach and misreads the situation. Come on, dude, not everything's a date. And the bagpipe keeps not saying no, and this becomes more and more problematic. And, this is a book for children, ostensibly, but, Shel Silverstein was the travel writer for Playboy for 25 years and wrote A Boy Named Sue and all the lyrics for Dr. Hook. And I'm pretty sure that he was inspired to write this poem in this children's book by a dirty joke that makes the rounds in musician circles about bagpipes and other sea creatures and how one might confuse them. Here you go.
Oh, the tide was out, but love was in the air that night as our story begins. A bittersweet tale of heartache and woe, I sing it where'er I go. Oh, the turtle walked slowly, as turtles will do, and he said to himself, I got nothing to lose. I've traveled this ocean, the whole world around, it's time that I settle down. Trumpets may roar, lions may too, and nary a soul would get them confused, but a bagpipe be different. She lies in between the animal kingdom and music serene.
Well, now never you mind why the bagpipe was there. 'Tis best not to question such a villainous fare. For she'll tempt you with beauty and tempt you with song till it all goes horribly wrong. Ah, but the turtle was taken, tired to boot, and he told her as much, still the bagpipe stayed mute. So he threw in his lot, and he asked for her hand, right there on the silvery sand. Trumpets may roar, lions may too, and nary a soul will get them confused, but a bagpipe be different. She lies in between the animal kingdom and music serene. Well, now I must confess, I have many times heard there be some prefer bagpipes what don't speak a word. Oh, but not so our hero, who desperately craved a simple aye or nay. Ah, but a bagpipe's heart be as cold as the shoulder she offered to he wanted only to hold her. So a lump in his throat and a tear in his eye were all that he left with that night. Trumpets may roar, lions may too, and nary a soul would get them confused, but a bagpipe be different. She lies in between the animal kingdom and music serene. So if I get booked to like do a children's show or a library or something, I'll end the song there, and everybody seems to enjoy it. But I always loved in sea shanties, I loved the use of entendre, and I wanted to know if I could do it, if I could write like that. And since I think this poem was inspired by a dirty joke, I decided to try, but I had no idea how to start. And I just sort of threw a dart, and I opened up Wikipedia's glossary of parts of a bagpipe, and the thing wrote itself. So... Now in a seaside tavern round about closing time sat a tentacled rogue with one thing on his mind. When he spied the old bag and he bought her around, smiled as he sat back down. Oh, lassie, says he, that's a fine looking tartan, and I aim to breach it before we're done sparting. Well, your knobs and your mounts may have seen better days, but I ain't one to complain. So then he reached for her flap valve with 8 loving arms, tickled her flea hole, showing his charms. Well, her hornpipe was rusty, but her blowpipe well oiled. To the victor go the spoils. Trumpets may roar, lions may too, and nary soul would get them confused, but a bagpipe be different. She lies in between the animal kingdom and music serene. Oh, trumpets may roar, lions may too, and nary a soul get them confused, but a bagpipe be different. She lies in between the animal kingdom and music serene. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. It doesn't escalate.
Shell would be proud.
He'd be very proud.
Did you write it while he was still around?
No.
No.
All right. Well, his ghost is short as we speak.
That's too good. Absolutely too good. I have actually. So regarding Tennessee Stud, Jan's brother, many years ago, I think probably back in either like in Oklahoma or Kansas, I don't recall where, maybe it might have been New Mexico, but he was like 5 or 6 or something like that, a younger brother. And anyway, they were in church, and he had just learned, his dad had been singing Tennessee Stud around the house. And at some point in the middle of church, he goes, "Hey Dad, let's sing Tennessee Stud." In the middle of church. Southern Baptist Church.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. Whooped her brother and whooped her paw.
In a small town. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Right.
we're gonna kind of do our musical finish here.
Mm-hmm.
We always have our guest close the things off with a song or two.
Yep, hopefully
And I think
too.
you'll have time for 2, so
Yeah,
please
there
do.
you go, yeah.
But first, it's time for announcements of whateverly stuff. And
yeah.
let's see. Um, next, the next FOD, Fortnight of Doom, will be on November 18th
18th, yes.
at the regular time of 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yep.
And our guest will be none other than
Dan.
our brother emeritus, Rob Neisler.
One of our brothers, Emeriti.
One of our brothers emeriti. Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
that's right.
Oh, wow, he even got the Latin ending.
Even got it right.
Woo. Now, all those years in boarding school.
Oh,
did
there we go.
something, right?
Yeah, that's the only good thing.
Anyway, yeah. So, and actually, I've already talked to Matthew about doing something early next year, so
Yeah.
we'll probably snag him too.
Yep.
Let's see. And in terms of Fortnights of Doom, we're also in discussions with Curtis and Loretta.
Yes.
From Minneapolis to do the Christmas Fortnight of
Yes.
Doom.
And then we've actually booked February. We don't have January. And we've actually got our good friends Hank and Claire, who are just the coolest people in the world, and they do some magical stuff. And I've been wanting to get them on the show for a long time. They're over in Paulsbo.
Yep.
So also chatting with some folks, with our friend David Kessler about getting some groups from back east to join us on the show as well. So
because he knows all these
he
Boston
knows all
area
these
folks.
Boston area folks that nobody knows of around here. And
we should.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So we're stay tuned for that. But we're hoping next year to kind of expand out beyond the area here and kind of bring some other folks in as well. So that's
Yeah, we're probably overdue to get Tom Lewis back too.
yeah. He was actually doing. I just read his newsletter. He's doing a show for the San Francisco Maritime Association, not live, but he's doing it at the local pub, and they're recording it, and that's what will show up. They were going to stream it, but in Tom's words, I just don't want to do it myself in front of a camera. So that was his thought at the time. So yeah, but anyway.
Okay, and then speaking of Christmas, we are going to do a very whateverly Christmas. We have one booked at this point, and Rob Neisler will join us again as he did last year,
Yep.
so we will be in full trio strength.
Yep.
That will be on Thursday evening, December 14th.
December
At
14th.
Egan's Ballard Jam House in beautiful downtown Ballard, right there on Market Street. And
It's the
it'll be
7th.
the 7 o'clock show, the dinner show, and
Yep.
their food is rather scrumptious, so come
Yep.
hungry.
Yep.
And we will do, I think, pretty much what we did last year with possible addition
We'll throw
of
some
something.
new ones in, hopefully. Yeah.
We'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll think of
Anyway,
something. Yeah.
it should be rather glorious.
Yes.
It is fun to work with Rob.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
And we're looking to book one or two more of those shows, possibly one on the east side and maybe one to the north, maybe one to the south.
We'll see. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway.
we're not going to do a magical strings thing where they do like a whole Christmas season
Yeah.
of stuff, but you
Yeah,
know,
they're way more organized, and there's more of them.
and there's more, and they dance and things
Yeah,
like that.
and they
So
dance, and they play stuff, and they sing, and they're lovely folks. And
Yeah,
as a matter of fact,
absolutely.
we just had them as guests in June.
in
so,
June, that's
yes,
right. Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Okay,
so before we do that, Wes, I know there's a few things that you're doing shortly as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. My next performance is Saturday, October 21st at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So that's in just over 2 hours. Tonight at the Coot Buzzard in Seattle's Greenwood neighborhood. If you're watching locally and somehow didn't get enough, come on out. That's with Matt Price and Scott Katz, two of my favorite
that's
songwriters.
gonna be very
oh, what a combination!
Yeah.
Way too much wit.
There's gonna be a lot of words. There's gonna be a lot of words.
A lot of wit.
And it's a bookstore. So, we had such a strong response to the tribute to late David Maloney that we did at Folklife for that we're gonna do it again on November 4th and 5th. That's Saturday and Sunday. Saturday on the 4th in Seattle. Sunday the 5th in Snohomish. Chris will join us for the one on the 4th. We hired him to run sound and said, well, why don't you do a song, man? And so that'll be a nice way to celebrate David. They joined you all for one of these once, didn't they?
They did, yes, and it was
Yeah.
because we almost didn't have Ginny at one point because she couldn't figure out the computer part, and which was what's cool is that Wes and Nancy Dillon and I spent many years doing the Christmas show, the Riley and Manoni Christmas show. Something like what, 15 years or
It
something?
was it was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that at the Meadowdale Community Center.
We did it at Meadowbrook Community Center for a
Meadowbrook,
while, and then
sorry,
moved
thank
it just up the hill.
Yeah.
For most of the final years to the Maple Leaf Lutheran Church, which is where we'll be doing this one as well. I figured I would start the asks with them, just as long as we're doing callbacks. So
Oh, that would be very cool. Yes.
Bushwick Book Club Seattle has a monthly show. Next one is November 18th. Also, the next Fortnight of Doom. The book is No Violet Bulawayo's Glory. It's all animal-themed books this year. So we've already done Charlotte's Web and Where the Crawdads Sing.
Nice.
And, I've got Google's pretty good at correcting misspellings of my name and getting you there. I keep a calendar online and appreciate
We should mention, I think we're not going to do our, because Wes has to leave quickly and go down to his next show. So we won't be doing our usual hangout on Zoom at this point because you need to go. So
I do, and I'm sorry to all who wanted to.
yeah, we could hang out potentially, but let's see. We'll do one, and you want to do one, and then we'll call it. How's that?
Yeah,
okay.
That's
So
great.
are we going to do the Zoom thing after?
I think not.
I think not. Okay.
So yeah.
All right. I'm sure there's massive non-disappointment. Oh, but we do have to do the final toast.
We do have to do the final toast.
Your
Yes.
drinks.
Yes. There we go.
And it's the usual one to our audience.
Mm-hmm.
Without you, we'd just be kind of shouting into the wind.
Or something else. So yeah. Cool.
All right.
All right.
And this is that's kind of become our anthem.
Yes.
Thanks to Scott Cook for writing it. It's called Fellas Get Out the Way.
Give me. Just keep going.
There's a whole lot of uppity women still not satisfied with the deal. We let them ride alongside. Now they want to take the wheel. And fellas keep saying we've got this. It's the way it's always been done. Don't all the scriptures say a woman should obey? Didn't a man write every last one? Well, we take a little lesson from history. All the priests, generals, and kings. There's nothing like long experience to really make a mess out of things. So fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. You've had your turn, you've had your say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. Now they want choice and pay equality. Wouldn't believe how they rant and rave. Back in the day, we'd just knock 'em on the head and drag 'em on back to the cave. And we're still flexing that privilege, though we find ways to ignore it. And ever subtler ways of saying she must have been asking for it. So fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. You've had your turn, you've had your say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. I thank God that she made women. Every time I'm in a crowd of guys, they might do just fine without us. Without them, we'd be Lord of the Flies. Whoever said that it's guys before gals? Well, that's a load of malarkey. If there's any hope for this whole show, we gotta bring on the matriarchy. So fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. You've had your turn, you've had your say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. I got a guy friend who's 35 years married. He backs his wife up however he can. Happy wife, happy life, seems to me he's a reasonable man. I got a gal friend tougher than me. If cross her, they'll be held to pay. When I hold the door, it ain't chivalry. Now I'm just getting out of her way. So fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. You've had your turn, you've had your say. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. One more time. Fellas, get out the way. Fellas, get out the way. We've had our turn, we've had our say. Fellas, get out. Fellas, get out. Fellas, get out the way.
There we go. Oh, yes.
Ah,
If
Scott
you have
Cook,
never seen
Alberta's
Scott Cook-
finest.
Yeah. If you've never seen Scott Cook, an absolutely astonishing musician. Yeah.
And writer, yep.
Yep.
Well,
And speaking of people like that, play us out, Mr.
well, thanks so much for having me, and thanks for continuing to do it. I know it's this has been a nice anchor of community for a lot of people, and yeah, so this has been a lot of fun, and I'll go put this in the case and scurry off to Greenwood in just a second. But we've traveled from the Columbia Bar and the Pacific Ocean to the noodle lands of Eastern Washington, which is where I come from, and so here you go. Get your atlas or gazetteer out for this one. I was toting my pack along a dusty Washtenaw road when along came a semi with a high and canvas covered load. He said, "If you're going to Washtenaw, Mac, with me you can ride." So I hopped into the cab and then I settled down inside. And he asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sage. And I said, "Listen, I've traveled every road in this here state. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Pasco, Tenino, Potholes, Indianola, Wapato, Keystone, Tico, and Freddy, Yakima, Gold Bar, Pataha, Okanagan, Sultan, Burien, San Juan, Enumclaw, Clarkston, Morton, Burlington, Annatone, Arlington, Bremerton, Darrington, and keep it rolling. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Newport, Keyport, Angeles, Concanelli, Ritzville, Marysville, Washington, Spokane Valley, Zillow, Walla Walla, Issaquah, Snoqualmie, Oaksdale, Goldendale, Fruitvale, Squamish, Sunny, Duval, Kettle Falls, Mattawa, Soap Lake, Loon Lake, Baker Lake, Moses Lake, for Pete's sake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been at Cheney, Medellin, Quincy, Anacortes, Quilcene, Aberdeen, Dixie, Cedar Lily, Concrete, Beverly, Fairfield, Glassclam, Longview, Grandview, Steelcombe, Mounds, and Helms, Westport, Townsend, Davenport, Orchards, Ferndale, Silverdale, Veradale, Razor Sale. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Glenwood, Linwood, Stanwood, Mount Sano, Pullman, Wickersham, Grayland, Douglas County, Rockford, Leavenworth, Ballard, Grand Coulee, Vashon, Inchlium, Richland, Altonia, Willapon, Nooksack, Castle Rock, Falls City, Royal City, Ocean City, Benton City, what a pity. I've been everywhere, man. Been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I said I've been everywhere.
Oh, yeah. That's a Wes Waddell classic, right?
All right, thanks, Wes.
Yeah.
Thank you
very much
all.
indeed.
Folks
Yes.
out there, internet land, for
Yeah. Thanks for hanging.
with us. And remember, it's never too late to donate.
Absolutely. Both PayPal and Venmo are there. So
Give me my pen pal too. That's fine.
I know PayPal too. I can't talk obviously today. Yeah, it's not the wine either. So yeah.
More noodles.
I don't think he's going to let me down for a while.
Okay, have some skills, y'all.
All right, well, take care, and we're gonna say adios and have a great gig tonight. So yeah,
Thanks.
cool. All right, take care, and we are now going